Hi, my name is Michael, and I'm a counselor for addiction, any kind of addiction at all. So I want to talk about addiction. Addiction comes in many forms. People think right away addicts are drugs and alcohol and stuff like that, but it's not true. The truth is, addiction comes in forms of sex. It can come in forms of women or men. It can come in forms of work. A major addiction people don't realize is food. Food is an addiction that can really cripple people and also can take their life. And anything excessively is an addiction. I know that I've worked many times 21 days in a row, just every single day. And what I was avoiding was depression. So what happens is when we avoid certain things, feelings, and emotions, we turn towards addiction. We don't realize it's addiction. Death comes into your life. You start to become depressed, and you start running from that depression. So what you do is you eat too much, use comfort food, sweets, sugars. When you graduate from then you start abusing alcohol because it's so convenient. Now we have marijuana. Marijuana, it can be for medical reasons. It can be a great thing, just like alcohol can be a great thing. But when you abuse something, that's when it becomes something that is very destructive and can take a lot from you. It could even take your life. There's a lot of people who have come close to death from addiction. And why I mention this is because when we do eat too much, we should seek counseling. When we do smoke too much, when we do drink too much, when we do work too much, when we exercise too much, we use that addiction. It's called substitution. So how many times have you seen like a meth addict or a drug addict and they get off a drug and they're doing great. Oh my gosh, you're doing great. But they gain like 50 pounds. Why? Because they substituted that addiction for food and they don't realize that. So when I talk about addiction, I talk about there's so many things. It's not a bad term. It's something that's very common, and it's something that you should seek help for. Educate yourself, read books, go to a counselor, anything and all that you can do. But just try to find a path that stops you from doing something so abusively to a point where you run so much, your knees are going out, or you eat so much, you gain so much weight that your sugar shoots up, your cholesterol shoots up, your triglycerides, which are fat in the blood, those induce heart attacks and strokes. We don't realize we work too much, so much stress puts so much pain in your heart, and pressure in your heart, pain, but pain in your heart too. But those things, your gastric cycle starts to get messed up. You start getting acid reflux, and so you start wearing that mask. If you cut down on your acids level, your fat intake, and your carb intake, and you just start walking, just walk around the corner, things can change for you. Even for drinking too much alcohol. The problem is, too, when you get addicted, there's a withdrawal process. When you start to withdraw, what happens is your body starts to crave. And you start to get irritable, and you get angry, and you get anxious, and you get anxiety. So what you do is you run back to it. You think, oh my gosh, I got so much anxiety, I can't stand it. And you start eating again. And then you eat and eat and eat, and you go, oh, I feel normal again. Well, you're back to where you were again. That's why you feel normal. It's kind of like an abusive relationship. People had their parents or somebody beat them when they were young, so they seek out someone who does the same thing because they feel comfortable, because that's where they were before. And sometimes we have to break out of the comfort cycle, and we have to do things that are hard, and we have to seek support, whether it be your friends, your family, groups, a counselor, your church, your clergyman, a minister, anything at all. Seek out those things. Anyway, my name is Michael. I'm here for Life Lessons at Lunch, and lifelessonsatlunch.com will be up very soon. And so is our book. We have a book coming out, and we just want to try to help people. And remember, the greatest thing you could ever do to overcome any type of addiction is to pray. So whatever God you believe in, just pray. Thank you. Have a fantastic evening.